Well, the concerts are over, and so is the Cubs road trip. The boys are back in town. Hopefully the rain has stopped, and we'll have that series opener against the Pirates coming your way at the top of the hour right here on CSN. Welcome into SportsNet Central, presented by Comcast Business. Mike Side with Mark Shanowski. I am Pat Boyle. As the Cubs' Jason Hayward figured some things out at the plate since he was given time off about 10 days ago.
Definitely looked better over the weekend. We'll also ask which pitchers might be left out when the Cubs put their playoff roster together. And the Bears finally get a couple of key receivers back as they move closer to the start of the NFL's regular season. It's all straight ahead on SportsNet Central.
To SportsNet Central, presented by Comcast Business.
Yes, a very tough weekend for the Cubs out in Los Angeles. They drop a pair of low-scoring one-run games to the NL West leading Dodgers. Tonight, they try to bounce back at home against division rival Pittsburgh. Kelly Kroll has your press pass for all the pregame news. She joins us now live from the friendly confines. And I guess, Kelly, the first question we should ask you, the tarp is on the field. Any danger of a delay tonight?
We're not hearing anything about a delay yet, Mark, and the rain has completely subsided as of right now, and just really for the most part a light rain, so I think you're going to see the tarp come off here in a few minutes and it should get underway. The Cubs and Pirates about 7:05 as scheduled, but yes, glad to be back home. Glad to have Jake Arrieta on the mound this evening, looking for win number 17 on the season, a career 1.99 ERA versus the Pirates. And it was supposed to be a marquee matchup of aces, but Garrett Cole still having problems with the right elbow, that of his throwing arm. So no Garrett Cole. It'll be rookie Steven Brault this evening, a lefty, which the Cubs could certainly use some work against a few more southpaws, as we heard Ben Zobrist talk about yesterday after the game against the Dodgers. But Theo Epstein having talked to the media earlier this evening, and he says with September coming right up and the energy it will bring on its own, the eye remains on one prize.
The goal is to win a World Series, and you know, as an organization, you put yourself in a position to do it. You want to do it, and so that's the ultimate barometer, whether it's a successful season or not. But for the 29 teams that don't, it doesn't eliminate all the accomplishments and all the progress and everything else that happens. So it depends if you're a glass half full or glass half empty guy. But realistically, you know, you don't back away from that to say, you know, yeah, we're happy if we don't win the World Series. You can't back away from it. As Lackey would say, that's that's the big boy prize, and that's why we're all here.
And one of the guys Theo went out and got to help bring home that big boy prize, Jason Hayward, who since his 4-day break where he got the entire Colorado series off, he's been much better offensively. The Gold Glove defender, 8 for 23 since the time off. And while it's a small sample size, the Cubs president of baseball ops can already see a difference in his demeanor.
Sometimes it takes something dramatic like 3 games off in a row or the All-Star break to have that opportunity, and he looks different. He looks a little bit more confident in the box, more on time. But the work is nothing new. He's been working his tail off all year, and you know, for players struggled as he has, he's earned the respect to everyone in that clubhouse through his hard work and his team-first attitude and not backing down from the challenge.
Well, guys, we're also just a couple days away from September call-ups, which will certainly be nice to add a little pitching depth. But some of the regular key arms on the way back as well. John Lackey through a side session today. Joe Madden hadn't heard anything when we were talking to him about how that went, but having spoken to the trainer and Lackey himself, they say no setbacks in that area, so he should be rejoining the team here soon. Pedro Strop, 25 pitches in a side session today, said he felt great afterwards, and Hector Victor Rondon progressing as they had hoped. So all three of those guys could be back with the team here shortly. And one thing to note, though, however, asked to Theo Epstein, is there a chance Kyle Schwarber could be back this season? Theo quickly responded, no chance. So, guys, there you have it for the monthly update on Kyle Schwarber and everything else, weather-wise permitting. These guys are about to get underway with Pittsburgh here in about an hour.
All right, Kelly, thanks a lot. We'll look for your reports during the game broadcast tonight. Time now for Built for Business, presented by Comcast Business. And you can bet Jake Arrieta was glad to see Chris Bryant's name in the starting lineup. He'll be batting second, his customary spot in the batting order. In games Jake has started, all Bryant has done is hit .439 with 28 runs scored, 11 homers, 35 runs batted in. That's half a season right there. Comcast Business, built for business. And more from Wrigley Field still ahead, including a conversation with Cubs beat reporter Sahadev Sharma. We'll discuss some tough decisions ahead for Joe Madden when he sits down to construct that playoff bullpen.
You know, I don't think we played as a group very well. I don't think we executed very well. I think that was evident. It was very disappointing. You know, especially that first half. That was probably as rough a first half as I've watched.
There's really no way to sugarcoat the performance the Bears turned in on Saturday. Even the most optimistic orange Kool-Aid drinking Bears fan felt nauseous watching the first-team offense rack up a whopping 20 yards of offense and 2 first downs and an entire half of football. So with the first-string offense getting shut out in games 1 and 3 of the preseason, reporters at Hallis Hall are trying to gently word their questions about the Bears' struggles.
Are you asking how we stunk it up a couple times?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Basically, like I say, we're feeling around a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I mean, everything. We just can't beat ourselves. To sum it all up, we just can't beat ourselves. We cannot do that. If we intend on going anywhere here in Chicago, we can't do it by beating ourselves.
I'm more concerned about, you know, how we adjust and you know, how we're going to bounce back from that. You know, it's preseason, you know, I know all that, but collectively I want to see us play a little bit better, man, and put together a great start and a great finish at the same time.
It's time to play buy or sell Bears style with the Tribune's David Ha. David, on the heels of Saturday's second underwhelming performance of this preseason, the talent level on this roster is still better than the roster Fox and Pace inherited from Trestman and Emery. You buying or selling that?
I'm selling that. I don't buy that. I think that maybe depth eventually will be the case, but I don't know right now if you can say that. They got rid of playmakers Brandon Marshall, Martellus Bennett, Matt Forte, all understandable reasons, but they don't have the explosiveness that they inherited, and I think that they're trying to build a team for depth and a lot of character concerns and cause those other guys to leave town, so I don't know that I would buy that at all. I think that right now the Bears have a talent deficit.
So the Bears' struggles offensively, are they more talent-driven than they are offensive coordinator Dowell Loggins-driven? Buying or selling that?
I'm buying that, and I'm saying both. I think that they have a talent problem because they have depth issues on the offensive line. They don't have a playmaker to speak of. Their best player is probably the most stable player is their quarterback, and Jay Cutler, and that's never been the case. Alshon Jeffrey could be that guy if he stays on the field. Too many ifs to say that they have the talent to carry them, but I think the concern is just as big with Dowell Loggins. I don't know that he has proven much to me or to other people to deserve the job that he has necessarily. Adam Gase is going to be the biggest loss of last offseason to the Bears because of what he did in controlling Jay Cutler, commanding the game plan, and it's harder than it looks to call plays on a Sunday.
On the heels of arguably his worst kicking year in the NFL, Robbie Gould missed a 48-yarder Saturday. But one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history will bounce back with a great 2016. Buying or selling?
I'll buy that. Robbie knows what happened last year and what he didn't do, and when he needed to come through for the Bears, he did not, and it cost them. I think that he's a guy that's highly motivated. He is a veteran. I think he keeps in very good shape. I think kickers can age gracefully, and he's going to be an example of one that does. So I think of all the guys you look at, you start to take for granted, and there's not much to take for granted on this Bears roster. I think that Robbie Gould will be a guy that bounces back in 2016.
When Connor Shaw sustained a season-ending injury Saturday, the Bears lost the quarterback who should have been Jay Cutler's backup this season. Buy or sell?
I'll buy that. Have you seen Brian Hoyer play?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of respect for how tough of a guy Brian Hoyer can be and the intelligence he brings in the quarterback room, but he did not show anything in 3 preseason games, and he has not been impressive at all. No matter he's running a new offense or whatever, he just does not have that look. Connor Shaw, on the other hand, did. He had himself a very fine preseason before a gruesome injury on Saturday. He sort of has that confidence. He has the it factor, and I think that's reflected in the fact that Bears want to bring him back and carry him through this rehab.
We're always buying the Tribune for David Haas in the wake of the news. Thanks, David.
More baseball after a break with a 14-game lead in the division. Cub fans already looking ahead to what the playoff roster might look like. We'll discuss which pitcher might be the odd man out. Lovie Smith getting ready to make his college head coaching debut down in Champaign. While in Evanston, Pat Fitzgerald is worried about Northwestern's opening week opponent. Meanwhile, one of Fitz's former players will be the starting quarterback for the defending Super Bowl champs when they kick off their season in about a week and a half.
SportsNet Central brought to you by Comcast Business. Comcast Business, built for business.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
The old dorm, if these walls could talk.
Stop hammer time.
I think the wall is talking.
MC Hammer? He can't touch this.
And when you're hanging in the dorm, you shouldn't touch this or this. Here, use command hooks instead. Hold strong, damage-free. Just peel, stick, and ta-da! Then when school is out, stretch command hook off and ta-da, ta-da!
Legit.
Still legit.
Oh.
What's happening?
Command, do no harm.
The new 2016 Lexus RX is a sight for sore eyes.
Get to Lexus of Arlington during the Golden Opportunity Sales event and drive yours home today.
At Lexus of Arlington, get 0.9% for 72 months on the most popular Lexus models.
Bob Rohrman.
The all-new Bob Rohrman Lexus of Arlington on the corner of Route 53 and Dundee Road.
Tonight on CSN, the Cubs return to Wrigley just in time for a fight under the lights with the Bucks. They've got Harrison, and we've got Baez. Cubs, Pirates, starting at 7 on CSN Chicago.
Introducing the newly designed Dos Equis can. But maybe you don't care about such things. You're wondering what happens next with the most interesting man in the world. Me too.
Welcome back to SportsNet Central. Jake Arrieta is back to his Cy Young form since the All-Star break. During the month of August, very impressive numbers. Jake 4-0 with a 1.98 earned run average. He's given up just 12 hits over 27 in the third innings. He's also 9-2 lifetime against tonight's opponent, the Buccos, with a 1.99 ERA.
We've all been over him a little bit about the command issues, but the overall numbers are kind of spectacular. He set the bar so high for himself last year, it's kind of pretty much unachievable to do that 2 years in a row. So give him credit for being able to maintain this high standard of pitching, not being exactly perfect this year, but still being really good.
Joining us now live from the ballpark is Sahadev Sharma, who covers the Cubs for The Athletic. Let's start with the bullpen. The Cubs are still waiting for setup guys Hector Rondon and Pedro Strop to get healthy again, but it looks like Carl Edwards Jr. has already nailed down a spot in the playoff bullpen. How tough will it be for the Cubs to decide between guys like Jason Hamill, Trevor Cahill, and Justin Grimm for potentially only one spot?
Yeah, that's going to be a really tough decision for Joe Maddon down the stretch. We have one more month for him to try and figure it out. Rob Zastryzny has really come on strong of late. It's just a small sample for him, but Joe loves him, loves his demeanor. He talked about him today in pregame. He's a guy that's kind of tough on the mound. He knows what he's doing, doesn't let the moment overcome him. And he's another guy you're going to have to throw out there, and his name may be thrown in the ring as well. So we have to see how Travis Wood performs. Is this a guy that Joe loves, Bosio loves? They like to lean on him, but he's struggled of late, and he's been used a ton, one of the highest used relievers in baseball. So figuring all this stuff out, where Hamill fits in, if he can be a bullpen piece in October, it's a lot of decisions to make, but they're good decisions because these guys aren't all, it's not as if all these guys are struggling. These are the type of decisions Joe likes to have, these tough decisions that mean, hey, I have 5 guys that are doing really well and now I need to pick 3 of them. Whatever it comes down to, he's got some good choices to make right there, especially with the way Grimm's pitching of late.
There also could be some experimenting with the starting rotation in September. We're expecting to get John Lackey back in the rotation within a week or so. Is it possible a 6-man rotation that includes Mike Montgomery is going to be possible?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Joe refuses to rule it out. I do wonder if it'll be a straight 6-man rotation where every 5 days a guy is going, a different guy is going. I think it'll be more Montgomery here and there getting a start. You have to integrate him into the bullpen as well because he's part of the October plans. There's no doubt that he's an important piece of the puzzle. So do they want him to be a 3 multi-inning reliever in October, or is he going to be the guy that kind of assumes Travis Wood's role, which I guess can be a multi-inning role, or just a 1 or 2 batter role? So I don't know how you really work that out as far as Montgomery integrating into October, but also being part of a 6-man rotation, because Joe stated since spring that he wants these starters to be healthy and ready and rested for October. They know they have one goal in mind. They try and take it day by day, but October is the big picture here. And getting a guy like Arrieta, a 37-year-old like Lackey, making sure that these guys are rested and ready for October, that's a big deal, and that's priority number 1.
Sahadev, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be following your coverage at The Athletic.
Thanks so much for having me. Take care.
No matter what your opinion of Lovie Smith was as Bears head coach, you can't say his players didn't love playing for him. Lovie had a connection with that locker room that translated to being, in most games, losing because of a lack of talent, not a lack of effort. Time will tell if Lovie will have that connection in recruits' living rooms and in the Fighting Illini locker room. His first test in Champaign this Saturday versus Murray State.
Butterflies, excitement, anticipation for that week. And there's nothing like it. Each one is different. But for me, coming back now, I haven't had, it's been a long time since I kind of walked in the stadium and there's a band playing. It's cheerleaders, just excitement of young people around. So, yeah, there's a lot of excitement, to put it mildly.
Meanwhile, Northwestern has a legit Week 1 test in Evanston against Western Michigan. The Broncos are coming off an 8-5 campaign with one of the toughest schedules in the nation, and they return 70% of their starters. NU will host Illinois State and Duke before Big Ten play starts on September 24th. Pat Fitzgerald plays a more challenging non-conference schedule than, say, what Chris Collins and the NU Hoops team usually does.
I wish we were playing Carl Sandburg High School, but we're not. So it's, I wish I was our basketball team. I don't know who I saw a non-conference schedule. That would be cool. That would be awesome. So that's not the deal. That's not what football gets. We go play and they all count. So at least at the collegiate level. So, we're going to learn a lot about ourselves by 4 o'clock on Saturday. That's the bottom line.
We have to find Chris Collins for a response there. Well, sticking with the Wildcats theme, Northwestern's quarterback from the 2014 season, Trevor Siemian, has won the starting job for the defending Super Bowl champions. You probably heard Peyton Manning retired. Second-year pro beat out Mark Sanchez and rookie Paxton Lynch. They'll face a very tough test in the opener, a Super Bowl rematch against Carolina for next Thursday, September 8th. Here's Fitz on the challenge ahead for Siemian.
He's just got to go out and beat Trevor, and it'll be fun to watch. We're very, very proud of him, but I'm not surprised. I thought his confidence level was very high this summer when we talked. I thought his grasp of what Coach Kubiak and their offensive staff were asking him to do, I think he felt, very confident in that. So we're fired up for him, but nobody is surprised in our program.
The Bears have suffered their share of injuries this preseason. Today, finally some good news on the medical front. We'll fill you in. And a big lead in the division means Joe Madden can give his pitchers extra rest over the last month of the regular season. But do the Cubs starters want that? This is SportsNet Central.
Danley's is offering an incredible deal. Get $2,000 off any Danley's garage. With over 200,000 satisfied customers since 1959, Danley's is the best garage builder in Chicago for price, quality, and service. That's right. All sizes and all styles are on sale now. And with $2,000 off any Danley's garage, we are keeping money in your pocket. So call Danley's today, 773-GARAGES.
Building your garage with quality, depend on Danley. That's why we're number one.
Four Seasons, how can we help you?
It's the air conditioner. He's having another breakdown. Hurry!
Remain calm. We're on our way.
With 24-hour emergency repair and same-day installation, Four Seasons can replace your AC for as little as $24.95. Furnace and AC combos from $36.95. And take advantage of 0% interest for 5 years.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Hey, how's it going? Hotcakes? Hotcakes.
This place has hotcakes.
Hotcakes.
So why aren't they selling like hotcakes? With Comcast Business Internet and Wi-Fi Pro, they could be. Just add a customized message to your Wi-Fi Pro splash page, and you'll reach your customers where their eyes are already, on their devices. Order up. It's more than just Wi-Fi. It can help grow your business. You don't see that every day.
Introducing Wi-Fi Pro. Wi-Fi that helps grow your business. Comcast Business. Built for business.
Lean In Together is about what we can all do
to help the women in our lives.
And men have an important role to play.
When men lean in, everyone wins.
I want to be a great player, but I want to be an even better father.
I lean in at home so Adrian can lean into her work.
We need to stand up for gender equality.
A little support for the women you work with can go a long way.
Let's all lean in together.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in. Are you?
Coming up in 9 minutes, another edition of Bases Loaded. Layla Rahimi visits with Cubs GM Jed Hoyer, gets his take on any possible waiver deadline moves. And Jed goes Simon Cowell on Ben Zobrist's singing. Plus, the White Sox give one of their young fans a very special day at the ballpark. It's all coming up on Bases Loaded in like 8 minutes.
That's a show right there. Well, back to the Bears. Finally, some good news to report on the injury front. 2 expected starters on the offensive side, tight end Zach Miller, slot receiver Eddie Royal. They've been cleared from the NFL's concussion protocol and went through a full practice out at Hallis Hall today. John Fox was asked if the 2 vets need to get some playing time during Thursday's preseason finale in Cleveland just to be ready for the opener against the Houston Texans September 11th.
Oh, not particularly. I've had a lot of guys that are vets, not too many rookies that maybe did not play. But, you know, we'll kind of monitor that. It's still always open. The fact that they're cleared now at least makes them legit to be active, and we'll make those decisions as we get closer to the Cleveland game. I think their conditioning level's pretty good. You know, I think we've got some timing and stuff like that in the passing game that needs to be worked on. But, you know, they've not been on the shelf, so to speak. They've been out practicing.
Jake Arrieta goes for win number 17 as he takes on the Pirates at the top of the hour right here on CSN. They're rolling up the tarp. We're rolling up this edition of SportsNet Central after this.
200 million watching history be made, 2 million making their own, 5 seconds gained, and a nomination won. When it counts, the biggest moments count on Comcast Business, with $5,000 of NBC coverage for the games, over 900 miles of fiber laid for the Democratic National Convention, 40 pit stalls monitored at once for NASCAR, and 10 terabytes of data transferred for the big game at Levi's Stadium. We know what it takes to connect millions. Imagine what Comcast can do for your business.
Prodigal daughter returns.
Promise me you're not here to sow discord in the fields of my peace.
Checks and balances. You seem to be only interested in the checks.
I'd be damned if I'm gonna let everything I worked for slip through my fingers.
This time, brother, you going down.
Boom!
Brought to you locally by The Room Place, your family furniture store since 1912.
Attention parents of children with cerebral palsy. If you suspect a medical mistake may have occurred at or near the time of birth, call Science and Kirk for a free legal consultation. Financial compensation may be available for children diagnosed with cerebral palsy, Erb's palsy, or another birth injury. A lifetime of medical care can cost millions of dollars. Protect your child and find out what legal rights may be available.
Call 1-800-942-1380.
Dave owed back taxes. After being hit with a wage garnishment and a bank levy, Dave struggled with his finances. He thought all was lost. Then he found out about U.S. Tax Shield.
If you have been threatened with a wage garnishment, bank levy, or tax lien,
call 1-800-518-6335.
Sandra and Victor owed an enormous amount of money to the IRS. U.S. Tax Shield was able to reduce their tax debt so that they were able to maintain their lifestyle.
Owe $15,000 or more to the IRS or state? Call U.S. Tax Shield.
Call 1-800-518-6335.
Cubs enter tonight's action with a 14-game lead in the Central. Big cushion gives Joe Madden a chance to keep his starting pitchers fresh, maybe going with a 6-man rotation. Cubs skipper may get some pushback from his usual 5 starters who aren't happy with being pulled from a game early. Joe's keeping his eye on the big picture.
There's going to be guys who are going to want a certain number of innings and their, personal kind of achievement, which I'm all about too. But at the end of the day, you're trying to conserve their moments for the most important time of the year. So regardless of any kind of pushback you might get from the player themselves, I still think you can do it and you can control it and not worry about the rust component. I think by this time of the year, rest in a more intelligent manner, just maybe limiting innings or number of pitches thrown. I don't think that's going to cause a negative downturn in their abilities by the end of September. I really don't.
White Sox opening a 7-day road trip against the division rival Tigers at Comerica Park. Sox had a chance to score in the top of the first against Matt Boyd. 2 on, 2 out for Todd Frazier, but a lazy pop fly to right field, and that won't do anything. A couple of singles go for naught. James Shields now pitching in the bottom of the first. We've got a scoreless game.
Coming up next, it's bases loaded, something James Shields will probably experience at some point tonight.
At least a couple of times. So we've got Cubs baseball here on CSN. Len Casper, Jim Deshaies with the call. Jake Arrieta trying to beat the Pirates, a team he's dominated over the last couple of years. Enjoy the game, everyone.
Esurance does auto insurance a smarter way, like their photo claims tool. It helps settle your claim quickly, which saves time, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call. Esurance does insurance a smarter way, which saves money, like bundling home and auto coverage, which reduces red tape, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's home and auto insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
Is it a force of nature or a sales event? The Summer of Audi sales event is here. Get exceptional offers now during the Summer of Audi sales event.
Golf is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be.
It's all about the green at Continental Motors. 8 locations, thousands of choices. And every Continental Motors dealership has a special offer for you to save some green. Acura, Audi, Honda, Maserati, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Nissan, and Toyota, new or used. Save big during the Continental Motors It's All About the Green Labor Day sales event, now through Monday.
Here's some information. We have the right amount of beer taps. If we had any more, the kegs wouldn't stay fresh. Any fewer, and we might not have that beer you like on tap. The one you can't pronounce, so you just point. We've got all that and more, which makes us pretty confident. We've got that confident look in our eyes, the squinty one with the furrowed brow, because of the taps.
It's Alpha Body Ford's Blowout Extravaganza. Right now, you can buy a Ford Focus for $100 down and only $169 a month. Or get 0% financing for 72 months, plus get up to $2,750 back.
That was it, $100 down.
I paid $100 down and only $169 a month.
Get the car you want with over 1,000 cars to choose from and the lowest prices of the year. The Blowout Extravaganza event.
Going on now at the original Alpha Body Ford Melrose Park, 25th and North Avenue.
Super relaxed. Everyone's joking around, having fun, and when it's time for the game, it's strictly business. But we're also out there laughing around with these guys, keeping them loose. So overall, it's just a really good vibe that we got here, and a lot of fun to be around.
Well, Kyle Schwarber puts the clubhouse vibe nicely, doesn't he? That thanks to the Cubs Twitter. It is a great way to start tonight's edition of Bases Loaded. I'm Layla Rahimi. This is our half-hour show as we lead you up to first pitch between the Pirates and the Cubs. And thank you once again for joining me as we serve up 30 minutes of nothing but baseball. So now let's head out to Wrigley Field. That is where we find our announcer for tonight's game, Len Casper. And Len, we start of a bit of a wardrobe malfunction. You tweeted on Friday, quote, "It finally happened. Nearing the end of my 12th season with the Cubs, and I finally wore the wrong TV shirt. JD bailing me out by grabbing the right one." So what happened here? And was it bad luck getting the wrong shirt if it resulted in a game where Chris Bryant hit 2 home runs and the Cubs won in extras?
Do you want all the gory details?
Yeah.
So we were on 3 different stations this weekend. We were on Channel 7 Friday. We were on WGN Saturday, and then Comcast SportsNet yesterday. And for some reason, I had it in my head that the WGN or Comcast would be the late game Friday night. And I was just kind of scrambling as I got ready, and I put on a WGN shirt, and I'm on the bus, and I look down, and I go, oh, no. So I text JD, I text our traveling secretary, and yes, they let Jim DeShays into my hotel room, and everything, including all the money that I left in there, was intact when I got back late Friday night.
I mean, listen, we will always claim you. Just know that, Len, no matter what shirt you wear, but I'm glad to hear everything went okay.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to this series, it is an interesting Pirates team. Garrett Cole still injured. They traded for Ivan Nova, who's been doing well, and they traded away Mark Melancon. Are these guys contenders or not?
I think they are. They're obviously playing very good baseball right now. They've won 4 in a row overall as they swept the Brewers in Milwaukee. They've won 8 straight on the road. They just put Garrett Cole on the DL today to make room for Stephen Brault, the rookie left-hander who will make the start tonight. You know, it's interesting. Their bullpen has been really good since they traded Melancon away. He probably wasn't going to return as a free agent after the season, and as a smaller market club, you know, they were like a game or 2 over 500 around the trade deadline. They had to make a couple of tough decisions. The rotation has actually been a little better without Francisco Liriano after they traded him to Toronto, but they still have a core here. And I think, Layla, the key to this Pirates season is going to be the continued excellence of Andrew McCutchen. He has put together this month of August the best month of the season. It has been a very down year for him, but after getting 3 days off leading into August, he has been the old Andrew McCutchen, and I think they'll need him to continue to do that over the next 5 or 6 weeks. And as they try to grab a wild card for what would be the 4th consecutive year.
As he goes, they go, right? And a trip to L.A., which you just had, means Vin Scully is in the booth next to you, with it being Vin Scully's last year. What is your favorite call or story of his?
Well, I think the overarching theme for me with Vin Scully is that the broadcaster you hear on the air and have heard for pretty much everybody's entire life, and it was so great to have him call the 3rd inning on Comcast SportsNet for the Cubs and Dodgers yesterday. But he's the same person off the air as he is on the air, and he's a very kind man. He's very generous with his time. I think my favorite call of his was the Kirk Gibson home run in the 1988 World Series. But you know, he's had many great calls. The Bill Buckner
play in the '86 World Series. Behind the bag, the ball gets past Buckner. I mean, that was a great call as well. But Dodger fans will tell you he's their guy, and I think a lot of other fans would say he's their guy too. He's really been the voice of Major League Baseball since 1950.
Well, I appreciate your perspective, Len. We look forward to yours and Jim DeShaze's call at the top of the hour. And nice shirt.
Oh, JD's not working tonight. I'm going to do a VIN, so I just told him to go home.
You know what? I'm looking forward to that then as well. But either way, you got the right wardrobe.
No chance.
Well, thanks so much, Len. We always appreciate the time.
All right.
Now, unfortunately, bad but expected news regarding Kyle Schwarber. Theo Epstein said today that Schwarber will not play this season, no matter how far the Cubs go in the postseason, as he continues to rehab from injury. But fortunately for us, Schwarber isn't staying away from talking on Twitter. Here's more from the Cubs Twitter in his Q&A earlier this week.
I got two favorite memories. Number one probably be the Mother's Day game with Hobby. I was sitting in the video room and we were going into extras, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to get my jersey on and go out there. So I just crushed out there, and then he hit a walk-off home run. That was really cool. And then number two probably Grandpa Rossi's 100th homer. That was just really cool to watch because I know that we were all giving him a hard time about it.
To the state of the Cubs we go, in the state of Jake Arrieta in August, just filthy. 4-0 and a 1.98 ERA in just over 27 innings pitched. He's held opponents to just 12 hits in the entire month and a 133 batting average. It is time to welcome in the hardest working Cubs fan in Chicago media. How do you feel about that title, David Kaplan?
I have no problem with the Cubs fan part of it.
Hardest working, I still agree. Now let's play a little over-under, shall we? We will start with the man on the mound tonight, Jake Arrieta. Arrieta has 16 wins on the season, so over or under 21 wins for Jake Arrieta in the regular season.
Well, let's see. Jake won 22 games a year ago. He's probably got 8 starts left. He sits at 16. I'll tell you what, I'm going to say that Jake Arrieta goes right on the number that he had last year. So over 21, yes.
Nice. All right, well, let's move to the bats. Chris Bryant continuing to rake. It has been impressive. His season home run total. Are we going to say over or under for 42? Last year, home run leader got 47.
I'm going to say Chris goes over 42 home runs. Because the weather's still nice and warm. Chris is in a good groove. I'm going to say Chris Bryant goes over 42 home runs, but it's going to be very close.
To say he's seeing the ball well is an understatement, isn't it?
He is seeing the ball exceptionally well. He's locked in. He did a lot of work in the offseason with his father, who was a minor league player in the Boston organization. They changed a bit of his approach so that he gets more line drives, but he also gets more power and lift off his swing. He gets his arms through it much more, I think, with power than he did a year ago. So I'm going over slightly.
Saw a nice display of that line drive business at Petco Park, by the way. Now back to the arms and Kyle Hendricks, who has a 2.19 ERA. Good stuff. Will Hendricks' final regular season be over or under that 2.19 mark?
Wow, he has been absolutely spectacular. To stay at 2.19, he's got to be really, really good. I'm going to say that he goes just over 2.19. I think he'll continue to pitch very well, but I think the ERA at the end of the year will be somewhere in that 2.25, 2.30 range. And
finally, this may be the most fun topic in this over or under segment that we get to talk about. The last team to win 103 games was the 2009 New York Yankees, as I nearly fall. So over or under 103 wins, which clearly makes me a little shifty for the Cubs.
I am going to say over. I picked him at 108-54 before the season started, so I am going to go clearly over. The Chicago Cubs will win 104, 105, 106. They're having a magical season.
It's like counting degrees on a thermometer, but in a fun way. David Kaplan, thank you for playing over or under here on Bases Loaded.
Always love working with you.
I'm okay. From the state of the Cubs to the state of the White Sox and James Shields. After an optimistic showing in July, Shields' numbers in August resemble what he did in June. 0-4 in 5 starts and in 20 innings of work. He's allowed 11 home runs, and the opposition is batting .408 against him. Well, look who it is. Our White Sox pre- and post-game live hosts, Chuck and Bill. I love it when we get to play Make Your Case. So, gentlemen, here's the question. With the rosters set to expand, should the White Sox pull James Shields from the starting rotation?
Am I going first?
You can, yeah.
Okay, my feeling is that is accomplishing nothing because you need this guy. He's signed for the next 2 years, and you pulling him from the rotation, what does that mean for, A, his trade value if you can trade him? You want him to be as good as possible if you can, or B, if he's a part of your plans going forward, you got to play him. And I know you have Carson Fulmer and guys who can come up, but they got to fix him as much as possible, gain confidence in him, and find a way to make this work because James Shields, whether you like it or not, is a part of this organization, certainly contractually, for the next 2 seasons unless they can make a move. And if him bottoming out this season, if you just end it right there, no way you're going to be able to trade him if you can, possibly if they decide to go down that avenue. So you got to keep him in the rotation the rest of the year.
Well, this might be a little painful for me because I have to agree with him on the part that, you know, he has to stay in the rotation. The reason I say that, and I agree with Chuck, his salary's got 2 more years. He's got to prove something. He's got to go over in the wintertime and feel good about himself. And the only way he can do it, he's a veteran not to be taken out of a rotation. Because you're looking at a rotation, I think, with a couple of openings. So I think if Carson Fulmer comes up and gets some starts, we're only talking about maybe 3 to 5 starts. There's plenty of room for him. We have other guys that can sit down or go to the bullpen. But when it comes to a veteran, it's a touchy situation. Again, if I thought this was his last year, I'd say absolutely take him out of the rotation. But it's not. So as long as he's there and he's making that kind of money, you've got to make him go home feeling good.
And if you're saying that, there's an argument to just keep Carson Fulmer in AAA, although I know that season ends a little early, so maybe you bring him up then. But I would not rush Carson Fulmer back up to the majors. Let him stretch it out in the minor leagues, get some confidence back, because he needs that more than anything going forward to 2017, whether he's ready to be in the rotation next year or not.
So who wins if we both agree?
It's bad because I also agree with the both of you. So do we all win?
We're all winners.
We're all winners.
We're all winners. How do we feel about this, Bill?
Well, I feel pretty good about it. I have no problem being in the first lane with 2 other people. I might have beat you out by maybe a foot. No big deal. But, you know, it costs a lot of money to bring these minor league players up.
Yeah.
We're talking about a pro rata share of $500,000 a year. You know, it breaks down to maybe $75,000 or $80,000 just to have them come up and sit on the bench and just kind of cheer for everybody. The White Sox are not in a position to do that. If they're going to bring a young guy up, they're going to bring him up, put him in some games, not worry about what the scores are, see what he does under pressure. It always prepares that young man for the beginning of spring training. He gets to know the players, feels a lot more comfortable, gets the winter off, and comes back throwing the ball better.
Well, I think that's great insight, Bill. Chuck, I like that you went first, so if I'm the judge, I vote for you both. Thanks as always, for your contributions here on Bases Loaded, and go team.
2 wins and a tie. I like that.
We are just getting started here on Bases Loaded. On deck, the emotional story of one fan's special wish to meet Jose Abreu and how he got to see it through. Plus, General Manager Jed Hoyer talks about the waiver trade deadline coming up and what he thinks of his team's singing talents. And we take a look at Wrigley Field. That is tonight's starter, Steven Brault, 0-1, a .360 ERA, as we are just under 22 minutes away from the series opener between the Cubs and Pirates. Much more on Bases Loaded straight ahead.
It starts with the low Fields price, and then we include all of the Fields amenities at no extra charge.
Lease a new 2016 BMW 320i X-Drive sedan for $309 per month for 36 months.
You don't have to beat them up about the price. They're already giving you the best price.
A low price and a whole lot more, like our Fields amenities that include free loaners, free car washes, and our Fields cafes.
I don't think I'd ever buy a car from anyone else but Fields. It's my go-to dealership now.
It's what we do. Fields matters because you matter.
DirecTV is at it again with another so-called deal. With a $60 intro rate that jumps to over $100 after just 3 months, then shoots up to over $150 after a year. The hits just keep on coming because you're locked into a 2-year contract that can cost over $3,300. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Switch to an X1 Double Play from Comcast and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Call or go online today.
I've been thinking, this might be the one thing in the world you pull apart to come together.
New Papa John's Cinnamon Pull-Aparts covered with cinnamon crumble and sweet cream cheese icing. Try our new Cinnamon Pull-Aparts for just $6.
Hey, Papa John's.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
Welcome to Honda.
Thank you.
Head over heels, where should I go? Can't stop myself, out of control. Head over heels, no time to think. Looks like the whole world's out of sync.
So you like it?
I do.
Now is the moment to get the Honda CR-V you love, the best-selling SUV in America, at the Honda Summer Clearance Event, going on now.
Stay close to your White Sox at CSNChicago.com. Grab the top stories, team news, and video, plus social media, stats, and the shop. Visit our White Sox page today, brought to you by Wintrust.
Tonight on CSN, the Cubs return to Wrigley just in time for a fight under the lights with the Bucks. They've got Harrison, and we've got Baez. Cubs, Pirates, starting at 7 on CSN Chicago.
In my own mind, I'm number one, but if I had to come up with another one, it would probably be Ben Zobrist with the post-game celebration. He's really good at giving the little cha-cha kind of deal.
Let it go! Let it go!
So we know Ben Zobrist can sing, and according to Kyle Schwarber, he can dance as well. That said, let's go to Wrigley Field and bring in our special guest on Bases Loaded, who brought Zobrist to Chicago. It is Cubs GM Jed Hoyer. And Jed, in addition to Zobrist, we've seen Bryant and Rizzo in commercials, Jason Hamill running a presidential campaign on T-shirts. Somewhere in there is a baseball team. Were you aware of these guys' other talents and interests when you brought them on board?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd say talents. I'd say interests maybe, but yeah, that was some tough listening during the break. So hopefully those guys will stick to baseball.
Well, it does say a lot about your team, of course. So what do you think it says about just the group of players you have in that clubhouse and the culture that you have created?
Yeah, it's a great group of guys. These guys have fun together. I think when you look at how consistent the performance has been, really with the exception of 3 weeks, I think it says a lot about the culture. They come to play every night, whether they're tired, whether it's been a long road trip, whatever it might be. The performance is really consistent, and I think that does say a lot about not only the coaching staff, but I think it says a lot about the culture that we have with that group. And they have fun together. You know, it's a marathon. You know, it's 162 games in 183 days, and if you're not having fun and keeping it loose, you're probably really not having a very good season.
Yeah, I know, Jed, it's a balance when it comes to being able to have fun like that and also to be playing well enough to back it up. But to see those guys be able to be free and easy, at least when it comes to personality, very openly, and then how it's translating on the field, how have they been able to kind of strike that balance in your impression?
Well, I think everyone's here for the same reason. You know, everyone's here to win. You know, guys took less money to come here to try to win a World Series and to be part of this group. So there's no question what the priority is. I don't think anyone doubts that. But you don't become a good team by sitting at your locker and studying scouting reports all day long. You know, there's got to be some levity. There's got to be some fun. And I think that, you know, Joe is a big part of keeping it loose. You know, Davey Martinez is a big part of that. They encourage these guys to be themselves, and I think they strike that balance really well.
Now, Jed, the non-waiver trade deadline is August 31st coming up. You brought in bullpen help, pitching help last month in Montgomery, Funk, and Chapman. So what is the Cubs' position over the next few days?
Yeah, we'll be looking. You know, there's definitely depth pieces that we can add, but we like our team. I think we have a very deep team as it is. If there's something that makes sense, we'll do it. But at the same time, I think we're really happy. We played great baseball for 6 weeks. We have some guys hopefully getting healthy here, and that should help us quite a bit.
And finally, Jed, back to your singing, dancing, acting, modeling, and campaign running roster. We know your main talent, of course, is running a baseball team. You play the sport as well. So tell us a non-baseball talent or skill or interest, if you may call it, that you have that we could possibly bring to this group.
It's not singing, it's not dancing. I can tell you that right now. I'd be pretty boring in this group for sure. You know, I think in the office I try to keep it pretty light, try to have some fun in the office, but certainly it's not through any demonstrable skill like singing or dancing. So in that regard, I guess I'm coming up short.
I don't believe this for a second, but I thank you for your time, Cubs GM Jed Hoyer. Appreciate you joining me on Bases Loaded. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, Jake Arrieta has owned the Pirates in his Cubs career, 8-2 with a 1.63 ERA and 83 innings of work. Here he is just moments ago. He struck out 84 buccos while walking only 16 and, of course, beat Garrett Cole in that one-game playoff last season. Berwyn native and White Sox fan Isaiah Wright entered this world fighting the odds. At just 14 years old, Isaiah has already undergone and survived more than 50 surgeries because of a rare birth defect. Isaiah and his family have an appreciation for just how precious life can be, and they were able to make the most of a recent visit to the South Side. Our Sierra Santos has the story.
Isaiah is a miracle baby.
Born with his internal organs outside of his tiny 4-pound body, Isaiah was confined to a hospital for the first 2 years of his life, undergoing multiple organ transplants.
Isaiah, he's always been a fighter. As a newborn, the way he was born, he always was a fighter. And he fought to be here today.
Now 14 years old, Isaiah loves Super Mario and the White Sox.
Who is your favorite baseball team?
He's a happy boy. Isaiah is an amazing kid to have. We got blessed. He's one of a kind. We're blessed because he's like an angel. He's like an angel.
Earlier this year, Isaiah and his family encountered another hurdle.
5 months ago, she was complaining about a pain in his stomach. So she took him to the hospital, and the doctors discovered that he had cancer, tumors in his stomach.
After a lifetime in and out of hospitals, doctors exhausted all treatment options. With Isaiah's time running out, his family opted to let him enjoy his final days on his own terms.
The reason he came out of the hospital was because the hospital told us that Isaiah didn't have long. They didn't say an amount of time because they couldn't say, but because Isaiah was getting depressed and crying, he wanted to come home. And my daughter made the decision of bringing him home because she didn't want to lose him when he was in the hospital.
It's the worst thing you could ever be told in your entire life. I mean, your kids are supposed to bury you. You're not supposed to bury your kids.
Isaiah's family recently visited U.S. Cellular Field as guests of the White Sox. The team made VIP arrangements, treating him to a private behind-closed-doors meeting with his favorite player, Jose Abreu.
How does it feel to be out here with all your family today?
It's good.
It's good. Are you happy today?
Yeah.
He was very happy, very excited. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more.
This is an amazing day. This is the day to always remember.
Isaiah emerged from his one-on-one meeting with Abreu, donning a pair of personally signed batting gloves, an autographed bat, and an ear-to-ear smile.
He came out, he still got his gloves on right now. He's happy.
He's excited. He gave me a smile that I haven't seen in a long time. He's a fighter. He's happy, and it makes me happy to see him happy. We're not ready to lose him. He's with us now, and we're blessed because of it.
There is a GoFundMe page that was created to help support Isaiah and his family. Prayers for Isaiah is the headline for that page, and you can also find it if you search for Isaiah Wright. We have more Bases Loaded after this.
It starts with the low Fields price, and then we include all of the Fields amenities at no extra charge.
I'm not overpaying for my vehicles. I'm getting great customer service and great amenities at Fields.
And now, lease a new all-wheel drive 2016 Ghibli SQ4 for only $599 per month for 36 months.
A low price and a whole lot more, like our Fields amenities that include free loaners, free car washes, and our Fields cafes.
It's not about the word free. It's the way they deliver it and what they deliver.
Fields matters because you matter.
Domino's it is.
No, I want salad.
Oh, no.
So we're getting salad, right? Right?
Luckily at Domino's, we love pizza so much we've added salads so no one can veto pizza night. Try one with a medium 2-topping pizza for $5.99.
How do you maximize your Sunday football experience? The DirecTV Red Zone channel.
We have a full day of football
with non-stop live coverage of all the action and none of the commercials.
You want to get interactive?
Get every score and then some, all on one screen. Every Sunday.
Ready for that?
Including games next to games next to games. Even stream it on your favorite devices so you can watch your team on the big screen and everyone else on the other. Touchdown! The Red Zone channel. This fall when you upgrade to NFL Sunday Ticket Max, channel 703, only on DirecTV.
Time has come today at Berwyn Kia. Now's the time to save.
Triple time savings on new Kia Fortes, Kia Rios, or the highest ranked compact multi-purpose vehicle in initial quality. The Kia Soul, your choice, only $12,795 or $149 per month. And bad credit is no problem because we own the bank. We look at your future, not your past. Time to get approved. Berwyn Kia on Harlem and Ogden, just north of I-55 or berwynkia.com.
Why jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Why not? Chicagoland Skydiving Center was voted the best in the U.S. with a perfect safety record, a one-of-a-kind environment, and round-trip shuttle service from downtown Chicago. Come experience the greatest adventure in the area. Chicagoland Skydiving Center in Rochelle. Visit us at perfectlygoodairplane.com.
I'd say the professor, Kyle Hendricks. Just watching him do what he's doing this year, it's so much fun for me to watch on the bench, and he's shown why he's one of the best pitchers in the league.
That's a nice compliment from Kyle Schwarber as we take a look at the Cubs lineup. And that man, Chris Bryant, is batting second. He is riding a 10-game hitting streak and has 7 home runs over that span. You see Ben Zobrist fourth, Jorge Soler, Jason Hayward, Wilson Contreras catching for Jake Arrieta. Thanks for watching Bases Loaded here on Comcast SportsNet. It's Jake Arrieta against the Pirates coming your way next. Cubs postgame live is immediately following the game.
Swinging out to Vegas for the weekend. Just rolling those dice. Put jets and guys and dolls. On a swinging night in the town.
Here you go.
Our dog is gonna love camping with us.
Come on, get in.
Eric.
Come on. Let's do it again. Ready?
My turn.
Lease a new 2016 RAV4 with 0 due at signing, 0 down payment, and 0 first month's payment. Or get 0% APR for 60 months on RAV4 during Toyota's annual clearance event. Toyota, let's go places.
My heart and my broken bones. If I can't stand up on my own, don't make me stand alone. Lift me up so I can see the light. When the sun goes down, I will lay in your arms tonight. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Your heart's been repaid.
There are things in life that just go together. It's like they're always side by side. Because when we put them together, they're better. like home and auto insurance from State Farm. They just go together. And they save you time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
There are 93 days of summer. Head to the Acura Summer of Performance event going on now. Hit red lines across state lines. Hug new turns like old friends. Or just open it up on an open road. Summer's going fast, so don't waste a minute.
Visit your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Acura dealer for attractive offers on the TLX.
Baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. The Cubs are back home after a week and a half on the road. Team photo day here at the ballpark, and actually in the rain they took that picture, but we're dry and we will get started on time as the Cubs host the Pittsburgh Pirates to open up a 7-game homestand. And welcome to Cubs baseball. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. 33 games to go for the Cubs. Their magic number is down to 20. They went 5-4 on the road trip, and they're in very good shape in the standings.
Yeah, and as we take a look at the National League Central standing, it's kind of interesting because they have such a comfortable lead. They actually have a chance to play spoiler with some matchups coming up with teams in the wild card race. But there you see the Cubs way out in front of the Cardinals, 14 games better than St. Louis. The Pirates a half game behind the Redbirds.
Yeah, and the Pirates all of a sudden are very much in the wild card race. It would be appropriate if they get there because that's what they do.
Yeah, they do. They make a habit of getting into that to play-in game. Just a half game behind the Cardinals now, so the Cubs have 3 with Pittsburgh and then 4 with the Giants on this homestand.
Jake Arrieta likes facing the Pirates. I don't know how much they like facing him, however.
Probably not so much. Jake Arrieta has dominated the Pirates in his career, 8-2 with a .63 ERA since donning the Cub uniform. They got to him last time. His last start against the Pirates back in July in Pittsburgh. They scored 6 runs off of him.
Rookie left-hander Stephen Brault will go for the Pirates, who put Garrett Cole on the DL today. Arrieta with that shutout in the wild card game last year, and he'll kick off this series tonight against the Pirates. The Cubs have won 9 of 12 in this season series. Game 1 is next.
Everything you're looking for is right here. I'll be here if you need me.
Watching in slow motion as you turn around and say, oh, take my breath away.
Find anything you like?
Yes.
Now is the moment to get the Honda you love. KBB.com's 2016 Best Value brand. Hurry in. The Honda Summer Clearance event ends soon.
I've always believed that caring for families is the best way to keep our community healthy and safe, which is why I do things like provide opportunities for children to learn through the Reading Buddies program, help fund child safety programs, and give to the homeless. It's also why I got into personal injury law. It gives me the opportunity to help people at a time of tremendous loss, because helping injured people win justice is its own reward.
How did DirecTV build the first-of-its-kind channel dedicated to fantasy football live on Sunday? They put together a team of in-studio experts with insightful in-game analysis of Sunday's biggest plays as they happen. Plus the latest NFL.com stats, injury news, and storylines that affect your lineups. Stay connected to the source on your favorite device while your team is on the big screen. All in a Sunday's work. Only NFL Sunday Ticket Max gives you the DirecTV Fantasy Zone. Upgrade your Sundays this fall. Channel 704.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, inviting you to check out their fuel-efficient lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by your local Kia dealers. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn more.
Been a while since we've been here in the friendly confines, and it's great to be back. The Cubs have the best home record in all of baseball at 45-19. And they're facing a Pirates team they've beaten 5 out of 6 here at Wrigley and 9 out of 12 overall on the year. And I'm assuming most guys in that dugout slept in a little bit today because we got back pretty late from LA.
3:39 a.m. when the lights went off in my room last night. Yeah, so I imagine some guys got a few extra winks this morning, maybe a little nap before they came to the yard this afternoon. It's all good. They're young.
Right. Let's check out the Pittsburgh Pirates Southwest starting lineup. Again, they've won 8 in a row on the road. Josh Harrison in the leadoff spot, playing second. Josh Bell, what a major league debut he had against the Cubs in Pittsburgh in July. McCutchen putting together a great month, not a great year. More on that later. Polanco, Marte, the all-star. David Freese and Francisco Cervelli signing contract extensions earlier this season. Jordy Mercer, the shortstop, batting 8th, and Stephen Brault can handle the bat. He pitches, and bats 9th.
Cubs defensively, and it's brought to you by Arby's. You'll see an outfield alignment of Soler, Fowler, and Hayward. Chris Bryant, third base. Javi Baez spells Addison Russell at short tonight. Zobrist Rizzo on the right side of the infield. Wilson Contreras back behind the plate as he continues to get a look at Jake Arrieta, who is our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher. 16 wins, leads the league. 2.62 ERA, good for 4th best in the league. He's allowed just 11 home runs here in his home ballpark. 6-3 with a 2.18 ERA. That opponent average also the best in the biz.
Umpires, that's Trip Gibson. Trip with 2 P's. Brian Knight, silent K, is at first. Tony Randazzo, Chicago native, went to Lake Park High School, is at second. And Bill Miller, the crew chief, at third. Quick note on rehabbing pitchers. Pedro Strop, Hector Rondon, and John Lackey all threw off the mound today, and the pitching coach gave a thumbs up. Everybody looked good, felt good. So
it's good news.
That is very good news.
So really a primary concern for the Cubs these days is making sure everybody's healthy and ready to go as we near the end of the regular campaign.
Cubs at 82-47. Pirates 67-61. And away we go. And a nasty sinker swung on and missed for strike 1.
Yeah, Harrison in the leadoff spot here tonight. Hitting for average, he doesn't take a lot of walks, so he doesn't have a very high on-base percentage. But if he gets on, he's a threat to steal.
Bounce to third, fair ball. Bryant gets rid of it quickly. 2 pitches and 1 away.
Yeah, that makes Harrison 1 out of 19 in his career against Jake Arrieta. Jake, last time out, he was up against the Padres in San Diego. He worked 8 innings of shutout baseball, allowed just 2 hits. Walked 3, struck out 6. A lot of outs on the ground.
Just the 14th major league game for switch hitting first baseman Josh Bell. Stands way off the plate. We should do a little side-by-side with Anthony Rizzo later. Big debut weekend in July against the Cubs. He didn't even start. His debut, a pinch hit single off Arrieta on July 8th. And it leads us into our Xfinity high-speed action. So his first career plate appearance, he would come around to score. The next night, off the bench, pinch hit grand slam off Adam Warren. And then in game 3, a pinch hit walk and a run off John Lackey. Can't start much better than that.
No, and that's a problem. You set the bar that high, people are going to come to expect big things. A lot of pressure on this kid now. And you see how he starts so far off the plate and then dives to cover the outside part of the plate. So as a pitcher, when you see that, you think hard in should be able to tie him up.
And he draws the walk. I remember around that time it was going into the All-Star break. The Pirates said he's coming up for the weekend just to pinch hit, and then he's heading back to the minors. And that ultimately was the case. Just after the break, he got sent back. Now has returned to the major leagues. You see, it's just lightly raining. As Andrew McCutchen digs in. And the first pitch is off the outside corner for ball one. McCutchen sat out kind of like Jason Hayward did recently. He was given 3 games off to start August. He didn't ask for it. His manager said this is what we're going to do as a figurative reset button. At the time, and close. He was hitting .241 with an OPS of .719 on the year. Well, since he's returned here in August, .304, .421, .468 slash line. This has been his best month of the year. And he pops it up. The aforementioned Hayward drifts in, and he's got it.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I think rest is a perhaps with some managers, some clubs, an undervalued commodity. And I asked Joe about that today. Are you aware of any studies, you know, the optimum number of games that you should give an everyday player off over the course of the season? Or he said, no, mostly it's just anecdotal. He has history with, you know, if I give a guy 3-4 days off, a lot of times you see a spike in performance after that. It's a sport that really values the everyday, you know, the quote-unquote grind of the baseball season. But I think everyday players should probably be rested more than they are.
Gregory Polanco in the cleanup spot. And he takes a strike from the National League wins leader, Jake Arrieta.
It's hard, though, right, when you're making out that lineup card every day to you know, sooner or later McCutchen's going to break out. I got to put him in there. Take some managerial discipline to just, okay, you're done. You're out for 2-3 days.
0-1 is hit in the air to left, and it'll twist out of play. 75 degrees, a northeast wind at 3, but wind doing virtually nothing currently. Although I guess the existential question we asked earlier this year is doing nothing actually doing something, because you're doing it. We'll let you chew on that as Arrieta gets ready for an 0-2.
My brain hurts.
The pitch. And we'll try it again. Jake 4-0 here in August. Final start of the month. He has already been the National League Pitcher of the Month 3 times over the last calendar year. Last August, September, and then April of this year.
Yeah, right in the thick of that Cy Young conversation again this year.
Bell takes off. The pitch is outside. The throw. Got him. That quick tag by Javier Baez. He and Contreras team up to get Arrieta out of the inning. That never gets old, does it?
So quick.
It's the recon mission for Tango 165. The endless search for the best berries. A midnight run for tacos al pastor. And the empty roads of Dawn Patrol. This is summer driving. During the Mazda Summer Drive event, get 0 to drive lease offers on any new 2016 Mazda.
Crab Fest is on at Red Lobster, so come dive into dishes like the new Alaska Bear Dye Crab Dinner with sweet crab from the icy waters of Alaska. Or try Crab Lover's Dream with tender snow and king crab legs. Love crab? Then hurry, Crab Fest ends soon.
Introducing the newly designed Dos Equis can. But maybe you don't care about such things. You're wondering what happens next with the most interesting man in the world. Me too.
DirecTV is at it again with another so-called deal. With a $60 intro rate that jumps to over $100 after just 3 months, then shoots up to over $150 after a year. The hits just keep on coming because you're locked into a 2-year contract that can cost over $3,300. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Switch to an X1 double play from Comcast and lock in your rate for 2 full years. Call or go online today.
The leadoff man is presented by Benny's Beverage Depot. If Dexter Fowler leads off with a hit here in the first, Benny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Cubs will line up this way offensively. Brought to you by Southwest. Fowler. Bryant's going to play third tonight. Rizzo. Zobrist in the cleanup spot playing second. Jorge Soler is in left with Hayward in right. Wilson Contreras has already had an impact on this game defensively, along with Javier Baez, who's playing short for Russell, and Arrieta, the pitcher, bats ninth.
Arby's defense for the Pirates this evening: Marte, McCutchen, Polanco, a talented outfield. For the Buccos, Freese, Mercer, Harrison, Bell, third to first. Francisco Cervelli is behind the plate. Lexus pursuing perfection, starting pitcher. The rookie left-hander, Stephen Brault, made just a couple of starts. 0-1 with a .360 fastball, slider, changeup. Word on the street is he's got a real good change of pace. Not a real hard thrower. Average, or a tick below major league average in terms of velocity. Good command.
On the outside corner against the switch batting Fowler, who's hitting right-handed. Pirates did put Garrett Cole on the DL with a sore elbow. A tough go for Garrett Cole. It's a strike, and it's 1-2. So second time Cole has been on the shelf. They traded Francisco Liriano to the Toronto Blue Jays, so their rotation has changed its complexion, but they feel very good about a lot of their young starters, including Brault. 2-2. John Neese got dealt. Mark Melanson, their closer, traded away. There's a base hit. And Benny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository.
Yeah, so I imagine a lot of fans in Pittsburgh thought, hey, the Pirates are cashing it in. They're not really going for it this year, moving all those guys. But lo and behold, they've been very competitive, having a good month of August, getting contributions from Jamison Tyon, one of their young top-notch prospects. Von Nova coming over has pitched very well for them. 4-0. The pen is lights out.
Tony Watson now closing for the trade of Melanson. And here is a red-hot Chris Bryant, who carries a 10-game hitting streak into this game, during which he's batted .488 with 7 home runs. Brault will check on Fowler. Bryant now only 8 points behind Daniel Murphy in the National League OPS race, 994 to 986. Swing and a miss. Tied for the National League lead with 35 home runs. He leads the majors with 107 runs scored. Other than that, he's just been all right.
Oh, hum.
It's a strike. That's on the road in his last home game. The game before that, he went 5 for 5. Brault making his Wrigley Field debut.
He was 2-7 with a 370 in the minor leagues this year, 16 starts. Their whole AAA rotation basically has come to the big leagues at one time or another. See another one tomorrow, Chad Kuhl. So the Cubs are in this run with 4 consecutive games against rookie pitchers. I saw Urias in L.A. Brock Stewart, the rookie, was really good yesterday. This kid and Chad Kuhl, who they've already seen, he'll pitch tomorrow.
Bell holds on Fowler as Brault fires to the plate. It's 2-2. Brault's trying to figure out how to get out Chris Bryant and how to navigate through this game, but he's also probably hoping that he can stay in the rotation for more than one start. Major league debut was at St. Louis July 5th. Went back to the minors July 29th at Milwaukee. In the dirt, and then tonight. Still looking for his first win. In that debut in St. Louis, he forgot his glove. Left it in Indianapolis, so he had to borrow his teammate Jeff Locke's mitt.
So left-handed. He was a vocal performance major in college at Regis University.
He was a rock lead singer too. Oh, he just made a nice defensive play and he throws it away. Instead of possibly turning 2 or at least getting 1 out, nobody out and runners at first and third.
Boy, he opened the door wide open. It appeared to be a very easy double play ball, and he hurries to throw. This reminds me of the Cubs. Remember 2-3 years ago, maybe they had so many issues. Edwin Jackson in particular making this play.
So the veteran Cervelli just trying to calm him down a little bit. Brault was a two-way player in college. He's a really good athlete. He can hit. He played some outfield at Regis University and pitched. So you saw the athleticism as he was able to field that ground ball, but then got in a bit of a hurry. A single and an error, and here's Rizzo with nobody out.
You mentioned Bell so far off the plate. I bet, yeah, if you could superimpose where Bell is in the batter's box versus where Anthony is, you could probably squeeze another big leaguer right in between the two of them. Looks like he'd be tough on lefties with that delivery, a little bit across his body. Works from the first base side of the rubber, which used to be the norm. Just about every left-hander used to work from that side of the rubber, and every right-hander from the third base side of the rubber. But more often now, it's the other way around.
2-0 on Rizzo. Here's the pitch. Outside. He's not been particularly close to the strike zone in any of his first 3 pitches to Anthony. He had a nice trip, hit 361. .30 swing, and that would have been ball 4. 3-1. Probably a pretty good result for Anthony when you consider the location of that pitch. Could have been a 4-6-3 double play. Three and 2.
Slider across the top of the zone.
Well, from El Cajon, California, went to Grossmont High School, grew up a Padres fan. And his payoff delivery, ground ball to third. Knocked down by David Freese. Nicely done. Rizzo will get an RBI out of it as Fowler scores. And Rizzo now has 90 RBIs to take the team lead. It's 1-0.
Well, challenges with a 3-2 fastball. Anthony trying to shoot it the other way. Successful in that regard, but Freese there to make a play on him. But good enough to get that first run home.
Bryant now at second, 1 out, and it's Ben Zobrist, who had a 7-game hit streak come to an end yesterday, and he sends one deep to left. Marte back on the warning track, and he's got just enough room. A loud out for Zobrist. Two gone.
It's been an eventful first inning here for the youngster Brault. Made the error, and boy, he was just begging for this ball to stay in the ballpark.
Soler couldn't hold up. Just 3 out of 19 on the road trip.
The Cubs have scored more runs today than they did all day yesterday already. What a remarkable turnaround.
That is astute analysis. That was a tough loss, 1-0 in Los Angeles. But you go 5-4 on a Western Division trip. You take it. Here was the game-winning run for the Dodgers in the 8th inning. It would be an unearned run as Baez threw late to second. And Zobrist after the game said, I've got to communicate a little better with Baez. But, it's a learning moment.
Yeah, it was good of Ben to do that because he's just trying to get Javi off the hook there. The play should have been to first base. But that's true. I mean, everybody should communicate, but it's on Javi or any infielder to know where everybody's positioned.
The other part of it,
teachable moment.
And Baez even mentioned it. It was Adrian Gonzalez who hit the ball, so he had a lot of time to get the out at first. Soler did not like that called strike 3. Cubs get 1, and I guess both teams happy. Cubs score, and Brault limits the damage.
Nissan, we've been racking up the awards, and now you can rack up the savings with up to an additional $1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers. Get to Nissan's Bottom Line Summer event today for your last chance this summer to win with big model year-end offers. But hurry, holiday bonus cash ends soon. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models, or get a low $189 per month lease on road.
$1 window siding and door installation, 102 Pine Street.
Let's go, guys. It's Feldco to the rescue with $1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors. Plus no money down and no interest until 2018. It's Feldco's biggest sale of the year.
That's $1.
$1 installation on all windows, siding, and doors.
Hurry, $1 installation ends Labor Day. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Your home, your auto. They just go together. Combine your home and auto insurance with State Farm. Save time and money. Just another way we're here to help life go right. Talk to your State Farm agent today.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm.
Cub fans, let's go. The best availability for tickets during the final homestand of the regular season would be the Reds Series, September 19, 20, and 21. Don't miss your chance to catch a game at beautiful Wrigley Field. Visit Cubs.com to get your tickets today.
An unearned run for the Cubs in the first inning. And the pitch to Gregory Polanco is taken for a strike. He was at the plate when Bell was caught stealing.
Yeah, and you would expect the Pirates to push it a little bit on the base paths here tonight, and that's why Wilson Contreras becomes such an important guy. This year with Jake on the mound, opposing base stealers 17 out of 19, and you're looking for a little kryptonite with this guy who is so hard to hit. You're thinking about the running game, but Contreras hasn't caught Jake a whole lot, so he changes the math a little bit with that arm back there. And again, the great tag by Baez. This is what, the third consecutive game or fourth where these guys have paired up?
Yeah. Polanco nearly got hit by that 0-2 slider.
That's why it was important to get Contreras some starts with Arrieta. As you contemplate a postseason matchup, maybe another frontline starting pitcher, and it could be a low-run game. Stolen base or two could prove to be the difference. He will give opposing base runners pause. P-A-U-S-E.
I was trying to come up with a pun, but you beat me to it. The spelling. The 2-2 is grounded just foul past first. Polanco turns 25 next month. And you like the trajectory as you watch his development. 650, 701, 843. That's his OPS first year, last year, and now this season. And he has made starts in the top 8 positions in the Pirates lineup. 16th time he's been in the cleanup spot. 3-2, and with Marte and McCutchen and now Polanco, that is pretty formidable.
Yeah, and Polanco's a guy we first saw in 2014. We heard a lot about him before he got to the big leagues. He was perhaps their top prospect, one of the top hitting prospects in minor league baseball at the time.
High drive to center. Dexter Fowler on that new turf after concerts. One away. Here is Marte, who made the All-Star team as an injury replacement for Yoenis Cespedes. He's 27. He signed through 2019. A couple of club options after that. He's had at least 30 steals the last 4 years, including 44 this season. And while he's hit just 8 home runs, he's got 32 doubles, a career high. One ball, one strike. The numbers on Arrieta in the open, including the wild card game. He's gone 8-2 in 12 starts against the Pirates as a Cub with a 163. Zobrist makes the call and he makes the catch. 2 outs. Pirates hoping the last time they faced Arrieta gives them a little hope. Freeze to the opposite way on July 8th.
And they got to Jake for 6 runs on 9 hits and 6+ innings in that ball game. So, that's still microscopic ERA against him. You get a sense of what he's done in his other starts against the Puckos.
That weekend, that was kind of the back end of that really rough stretch. The Cubs went 5-15. They were able to salvage a finale going into the All-Star break, as the Pirates were trying to draw within 5.5. of the lead. 0-2 on Freeze. 1 week ago signed a 2-year extension. He signed as a free agent on March 11th. Real nice pickup by the Pirates. And they have liked him so much they're going to bring him back for a couple more years. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. They go down in order in the second. It's 1-0 Cubs early.
Things really move fast at a Hyundai sales event.
This is amazing.
So what do you think?
I'm going back in.
Oh, excuse me.
Act fast today and make no monthly payments until 2017.
Having the right tool makes any job easier. So get to Menards for big savings on a great selection of quality Crescent tools. This 70-piece set is like having an entire workshop in the palm of your hand. Just $49.99. Save time on your indoor projects with Loctite Power Grab Express all-purpose construction adhesive. It reduces the need for screws and nails in many household projects. Get 2 tubes for only $4 during Menards Labor Day construction sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Jack Link's Jerky presents Working Out with Sasquatch. The cornerstones of any serious fitness program are exercise, diet, sleep, pectorals, and hair, all of which are part of Working Out with Sasquatch and protein-packed Jack Link's Jerky.
Protein, amino acids, good for the hair muscles.
Fan! Jack Link's Jerky, the protein-packed snack packed with protein.
This is it. The Hyundai Act Fast sales event. It's go time.
Act fast today and lease the Tucson for $139 a month or the Santa Fe Sport for $159 a month.
Hey fans, when you think mortgage in Chicago, think eClick Lending. With rates at all-time lows, don't wait. Lock in your low rate today. With eClick Lending, you never pay lending fees. Point, click, save. eClick Lending.
The left-hander Brault trying to settle in here.
That's some wild ink he's got rocking there in his right arm.
You mentioned the fact that he was a vocal performance major at Regis University while he was in high school. Played the role of Joe Hardy in Damn Yankees. Sings in a rock band called Street Gypsies in his downtime during the off-season. He fronted a band in high school called Off the Water. Twice they won a battle of the bands.
Wow. See, these guys, the modern player, they're just not content with being baseball players. They dabble in music, they play guitar, they sing.
Jason Hayward takes a strike.
You go back way back in the history of baseball, and the players were just ne'er-do-wells. They were rogues. Carried on, got in fights, they'd spit in umpires' faces. They'd leave the club for a week at a time, disappear. That doesn't happen anymore.
Hayward has a 7-game hitting streak, and at one point in Los Angeles this past weekend had 5 consecutive hits.
Rube Waddell once pitched both ends of a doubleheader for Connie Mack. In the first game, I think he went like 17 innings. And he said he was too tired to pitch the nightcap. And Connie said, if you pitch, I'll give you some time off. So he did. He pitched the second game, and then he let him go fishing for like 5 days. So you see, you think Joe invented that.
8-game hitting streak for Hayward. Well,
Yeah,
he also didn't have Twitter to follow people around on their excursions back then.
Well, and this is a good look, and I'm not a hitting guy, but what I see there as he's striding in, the hands are pushing away from his body, so he's getting some separation there. And this is a very, very nice trend. And I know we've said that a lot this year when he strings a couple good games together, but I don't know. There's something about that swing and just the way he's getting after it. It's got a little different look here over the last few days.
Wilson Contreras takes ball one.
Pirates playing a traditional double play depth. So Harrison really pinched towards the bag. That gives Contreras a lot of room to push that ball through the right side, and we've seen him do that from time to time. Kid got pinched a little bit there.
He is one of 5 rookies to make at least one start with the Pirates this year. JD referenced basically their whole AAA rotation. He's pitched up here at one point or another. 3-0. Cervelli.
Yeah,
beat him halfway.
Kind of like the Dodgers in that respect, that they had a lot of guys make multiple starts. They haven't had the injury problems to the degree that the Dodgers have, but they've had to deal with injuries, and of course they've made some trades too. Tyler Glass now, along with Tyon, two of the top pitching prospects in all of baseball. Had a couple starts, got hurt. He's just been activated and sent back to AAA. But everybody in the baseball world is really bullish on him. So you can see the Pirates being pretty good here for the foreseeable future.
It's a strike, 3-1.
Brault looks to me like he's going to be one of those reverse split guys. Maybe a little bit better against righties and lefties with that changeup.
3-2. Working the bottom of that strike zone here against Contreras.
It is steamy out there tonight. Very muggy. He's banging away at the bottom of the zone effectively. It'd be hard to lay off if he ran one letter high right now, wouldn't it?
Instead, he gets one at the bottom of the zone again for a called strike 3. What a comeback in that sequence. Wow.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day there, Contreras thought he was going to come with an off-speed pitch. He just kept banging away. Right over the heart of the plate at the knees to get the strikeout.
Javier Baez. Runner at first, one out, and in the air to left, Marte makes a catch. He got a great jump. Covered a lot of ground quickly and made it look easy.
It might be the best left fielder in the game.
Well, you know, then in the interview I did with him last year, talked about a play Justin Turner made, and he said he made it look so easy, and we take it that it's easy, and I think we could say that about that particular play by Starling Marte. I think there are a lot of left fielders who misread it off the bat, don't get a good jump, or have to dive to make the catch.
Yeah, and when they have such a big left field in their ballpark, it makes sense. You know, if you were to grade out their outfielders, Marte is probably the best. And usually you think, well, that's center field. But in their ballpark with a big left field, probably makes sense to have Marte in left, keep McCutchen in center.
Arrieta with 2 outs. One quick thing, you mentioned Tyon. Actually, Tyone is still here. It was Tyler Glasnow.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I said.
I think you said Tyone, but yeah, you meant Glasnow, just to clarify. But yeah, you're right. He'll be a big part of this thing before it's all said and done. 6'8" right-hander Glasnow's made just 2 starts at this level. Tyone will not pitch in this series. Chad Kuhl will tomorrow, and then Ryan Vogel's song on Wednesday.
Jeff Locke is currently in the bullpen. They have an 8-man bullpen tonight. 4 lefties, 4 right-handers. So plenty of options for Clint Hurdle. He needs to make an early move with his young lefty.
Jake at 264, a couple of homers, and he's knocked in 6. Ground ball into right. And Hayward will stop at second.
It was a floating changeup from Brault. Didn't fade, didn't drop, just stayed out over the plate, off the plate actually, but up where Arrieta could get to it.
Fowler a single and the only run of the game in the opening inning. Swings away. Shallow right center. And it's caught by Polanco to end the inning. Cubs strand 2 and lead 1-0 after 2 innings.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin with legendary sportscaster Steve Stone.
And I know the right team knows how to win, like Howard Ankin Law Office.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, I'm here to help. Please give me a call.
Put Howard's number in your phone right now, 312-6-million.
This is Coach Q at the new Benny's Beverage Depot in Lincolnwood. You should have seen this place 3 months ago. Today it's the largest wine, spirits, and beer superstore on the North Shore. As they say, if you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
A well-put-together man is said to be sharp. At GMC, we get why people appreciate that kind of precision. After all, precision is the kind of sharp that slices through a crowd. This is the precision of professional grade. Step up to GMC and get cash back for up to 16% of the MSRP on these select 2016 GMC vehicles. That's over $8,400 cash back on this Yukon Denali.
Excuse me. I think there's a misprint.
Oh, model year-end clearance event. Looks right to me.
Shouldn't it be clear?
Clearly, it is time to get a great deal and a reward card on this turbocharged Jetta. Got to make room for the 2017 models. It is a clearance event. Why is that so hard for people to understand? Seems clear to me. Clear to me. Ready for a test drive?
Whatever you want to call it, don't miss the Volkswagen Model Year-End event. Hurry in for a $1,000 Volkswagen reward card and a $500 Labor Day bonus when you buy or lease a new 2016 Jetta.
Time now for the Lowe's home field advantage. Doesn't really matter where you pop Jake Arrieta. If you put him in California, he's almost unhittable, but really good here at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, boy, he's the king of California. Here at Wrigley, 6-3 in 12 starts with a 2.18. Of course, everybody in this rotation is so good here in their home ballpark. Hendricks has got a 131, tied for the best in baseball. Lester a 201, Jake 218, Lackey 247, Jason Hamill 179.
The Cubs rotation overall this month, home and road, 15-2 with a 2.02 in August, with 18 out of 25 quality starts. Francisco Cervelli takes ball one. He got a 3-year extension in May, and then spent some time on the disabled list mid-season with a broken hamate bone in his left hand, missed 31 games. The catching corps ravaged by injury this year, and it all happened at once. Cervelli went down, Chris Stewart, Elias Diaz were all on the DL at the same time in July. Stewart currently out with a left knee injury.
Probably trying to track down Mike LaValliere. Spanky, come back.
Cervelli, a big part of their success last year, replacing Russell Martin, who left via free agency. We see the Pirates a lot, so we've mentioned this in the past, but they need to, and they've gotten very good value on a lot of their players. He bounces to short. Baez, high throw, but Rizzo on the bag.
Step into that throw a little bit. Tomorrow, we're going to do this again, and the first pitch will be delivered at 7:05, and up to the first 10,000 early arriving adults 21 and over receive Cubs wine cork sunglasses presented by Barefoot Wine. Tickets are still available for this game. Visit Cubs.com. Do it now. Come on out.
Strike on the shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Get a chance to see Kyle Hendricks pitch.
Baez will get another chance. A little extra mustard on that one. Now the pitcher, Brault, who has batted .393 in his pro career, 1 for 3 in the major leagues. Top of the zone strike. Marietta off the mound, and underhand to Rizzo. 2 ground outs, bottom of the order. Marietta's faced the minimum, no hits through 3, and the Cubs lead 1-0.
Dear Chicago, let's take a trip out of Midway to your favorite international destinations. With love, Southwest.
The For Freedom sales event is on, and our biggest event of the year just got bigger. Just announced 0 for 72 on Ford F-Series, giving you freedom from interest. Plus, specially tagged pickups now get a 1,000 smart bonus. America's best-selling trucks 39 years straight are built Ford tough. Now get 0% financing for 72 months on Ford F-Series. Plus, specially tagged trucks get a 1,000 smart bonus cash.
It's all imported cheeses. This is a fondue party, Mike.
I realize that, Alan. Taco Bell has these new burritos with warm melted cheese in the center.
This is a Gorgonzola Gruyere medley.
This is a 3-cheese blend plus nacho cheese sauce medley.
The best way to serve warm melted cheese is in the center of a beefy burrito. New cheesy core burritos only at Taco Bell.